Hi, everybody. Who's here first? Carved fish. You are first. Welcome, bud. Alrighty. I think I've got the stream all set up. That's right. F-22s. We like F-22s. People that don't like F-22s are commies. What's up, Lane? Beautiful day to be a neighbor. It's kind of rainy here today on the Wasatch Front. So, wearing a long sleeve shirt. All right. And this is really low. So let's raise it up. There we go. That should be better. It's going really well, Lane. I was working nights. I was on orders, and so yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware, Fish. Yeah, Lane. I was on orders, and it's just been it was busy. So I was only streaming like once a day or once a week, usually on Sundays. For the last like 2 months. My Mossberg 930 works great. I just accidentally broke mine, Robbie, and so I had to send it in to get fixed. I accidentally broke the stock off of it, which was unfortunate. But it works great. I love mine. Tarzal, I've played that game before, and because I live in a free state, nothing happened. I am ready for Walking Dead. The safety on mine, it's on the back, so with the pistol grip, like you kind of have to reach up a little bit, but also because it's got that pistol grip, you can just like kind of tuck it in, and it does. Oh, I just realized something that's wrong with my phone. I'm like, why is it so low? Why is the picture so low? That's why. I forgot to raise it. There, that's better. Thank you, Sleepy. Royce, they might not. I mean, they do, but they might not. So, what's the deal with the blue, almost scythe-looking thing on the one Nerf gun on the? Oh, it's a stock. It's just a cheap X shot. I mean, it says X shot on it, but really, what it is this is like a Warhammer 40K plasma bolt caster. So, Royce, desk pop right there. Gotcha. Hello, everyone. Rando, they're only assault weapons if I need to assault someone. Misog, see, here's the great thing about America. I don't need any guns. But I want guns, so I just have as many as I want. Because there's not a law against it. Max, that's actually one of the reasons why what we're doing right now on our live stream is we're pushing for our 1911. In fact, I gotta make sure to turn on this stream, make sure it's monetized. So when you live stream on YouTube, your streams aren't monetized until you turn them on. And I'm gonna try really hard. If I can hit 50,000 views today, that would be awesome. If I can hit 50,000 views, and then I know Royce. So my in-laws just came back. They were on a mission for the LDS Church, for the Mormon Church. They were in Australia. They were in Catherine. Elite, you're allowed to show guns. So, I mean, drugs do kill people, and guns do kill people, but someone has to point the gun and pull the trigger for it to do anything. So, yeah. Carved fish. So we are doing the giveaway. My plan is to do the giveaway right around like Halloween time, maybe a little bit after Halloween, so that the firearm will be available to you before Christmas. I want people to have it by Christmas. Hey Mark, what's going on? Meadow Rain Dog. I actually have a Smith & Wesson pistol from like 1980. It's like an 80s Smith & Wesson semi-automatic, but I keep it at my mom's farm because she doesn't have a handgun, so I let her use it. Jackal. The oldest gun that I have is my Marlin Model 60. It's a Sears Roebuck version. Compliant Armory. It's a Colt Anaconda. It's a 44 mag. Caffeinated. Valid statement. Yes, robots do have AI. John, agreed. John Wanks he's on point. Royce, that's freaking awesome. I think that's cool. What's up, J-Dog? Goon Squad, what's my most expensive gun? So my AK, my Colt Anaconda, and my lever gun, my 4570, they all cost right around the 1,000 cheeseburgers mark. They're all right there. Jackal, I have been to Qatar. So, no, Laku, I don't ignore things. I try to engage in the camera and I try to read the chat, but the chat moves fast. So if I miss your statement, it's not because I'm trying to ignore you, it's because I'm trying to get through things and talk to people. Pure Spacey. You mean like a generic 30-06? No, I don't have a generic 30-06. I was deployed there, Jackal. Okay, so Laku said we need way better gun control. What kind of gun control? Compliant. Oh, Sean, thank you. Hey, J-Dog, if you're still here, or Dangerous, will one of you guys be so kind as to give us a banner message? Yeah, so Laku, I want to know what kind of gun control you would like implemented. I'm just wondering. I just want to know what gun control would prevent any type of shooting beyond murder already being illegal. Like, it's already against the law to murder people. So, what will gun control accomplish? I mean, it's already against the law to murder people. So if people just didn't murder people, like, Okay, so we've got a statement here. I work on a farm in Texas. I have 30 guns. I love it, Alfie. Expanded mental health questionnaire would be helpful. Craig, why? Why would it be helpful? Jackal, I don't have a Desert Eagle. Thank you, Dangerous. I don't have a Winchester Model 100. I do have a Winchester Model 120. That shotgun is a 120. Green Smoke. Everybody go check out Green Hood Smoke. Three has been microdosing cat poop. That is an interesting thing to do. Hello, Camden. Yeah, not a huge fan of gun control. I am with my rainbow hat. I fully support wearing rainbow hats. That's the deal. Haifa, that's part of it. I don't speak French. I can read a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, everybody, we have 103 people watching. If you want to help the channel out and you don't want to donate to the channel, then please hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and keep the stream going. Gun control, use both hands. Yes, the factions don't support strict gun control. That is true. Gen Z historian, 100%. Do I swing both ways? $20 is $20. Microdosing freedom seeds, love it. Smash light. I'm looking to get my pistol permit, but I am not familiar with guns. Any suggestions on a solid but powerful but manageable pistol for a beginner? Wandering, I would recommend going to a gun range and trying out some different things, because there is such a thing for new shooters as too much gun. Every knee will bow. I agree with that statement. I agree with what it says in the Bible. I'm a veteran father. Got my first 1911 40. Fitch, that's awesome. I don't have a 1911. I'm trying to buy one. Julius, what comment? What comment? Read my comment. Okay. The facts. Do you support strict gun control? Question mark. What facts are you looking at? Question mark. Okay. How does having stricter mental health restrictions, how does that prevent people from murdering people? The one about dynamite. Sorry, I may have misunderstood. I'm trying to find it, man. It may have blocked it, Julius. Julius, so because I don't block anyone of any age from coming into my channel, sometimes YouTube will block if it picks up that there is someone under the age of 18. Sometimes it'll automatically block comments. So if you listed something about dynamite, I might not have seen it. I'm sorry. I apologize. At least implement the regulations towards dynamite for pew-pews. I don't know what the regulations are towards dynamite, so I'll take one of each, please. Rogue, I agree, right? I'm pretty sure if you lace lawful gun ownership over a violent crime net, see, it doesn't correlate at all. It doesn't. I recommend looking at the TSIS 1911. So, Fitchin, I let everybody that subscribes to this channel, we do polls every once in a while for what guns we're going to buy for the channel. The viewers actually already voted on a Colt 1911, so I have to buy a Colt 1911. Thank you, Mr. Bible Guy. What's up, Smoke? Smoke, I'm gonna make you a mod. I don't know why you're not. You've been like freaking part of the channel since forever. It may have been one of those things where I went and cleared everybody from mod. I may have had you a mod at one point. Raoul, they're all real. All of these are real. Even the Nerf guns are real. They work. Yes, Mauricio, I have. I have a little bit of boxing and a little bit of jiu-jitsu and grappling. Gruds, I think insane asylums would be great. I think insane asylums would be great. Compliant. This X-Shot is chambered in, I think it's 0.75 bolt caster plasma. That's what the Colonial Marines, or not Colonial Marines, that's what Space Marines use. And then this is obviously chambered in Magnum 50 .56 cal from Halo right here. Thank you, Justin. Lorenzo, I do have an AK right here. Let's see if anybody can notice a difference. If you've been part of the channel before, if you've been here before, let's see if you notice a difference in the AK. Because there's something different about the AK. A 2011 wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind getting a 2011. I hope bump stocks aren't outlawed. That would be stupid. Murph, I have not used O-Hunt. Bob the Builder probably was a Helldiver. Jack, yes, all of them are. Jack, all of my pews are real. SKS or AK? I think SKS you get a little bit more accuracy, especially like your average run-of-the-mill SKS, unless you're going to go buy something really expensive. So you get better accuracy with SKS, and you can modify some so that they can take AK mags, obviously. But I think there's just something about a classic AK that I think everybody that has like a gun collection of any kind, I feel like everybody needs at least one AK. Oh yeah. So if we get to 350 likes today, you can we'll do a spinning wheel and I'll do a giveaway, and you can pick one of these mugs. I'll send you one that says it's red, white, and blue and has flags on it. It says "We the People." I'll do that today. Whenever we get to 350 likes, at least right now, because you know that's how I roll. If we get to 350 likes, you'll have your choice of a mug, a hat like this, or one of our stuffed animal snackies. It'll be on my dime. I'll send it to you. Craig, I have shot a CZ. I like CZs. I think that they're nice. I haven't shot the P10. I have a buddy who has the CC75. But I don't own any CZs. I'm afraid of becoming a CZ guy. I thought it shot well, just I haven't shot one in a while, so I don't know about P10. It is a big mug. Killer Zombies, do you want like an original BAR, like a full auto one? Because then you've got like all the transfer paperwork, or are you talking about like a modernized H car from Ohio Ordnance? So Aaron, one of the things I've heard about TSIS is that TSIS makes a very inexpensive entry-level 1911, and if you swap out the barrel for like you can do like if you can find a Colt barrel or a Dan Wesson barrel and trigger group, which is like another $150, then you've got just a solid piece. I know, Smoke. Everybody tells me. I know. I already look like the CZ guy. It's just an outfit. It's a costume. I don't know that Baba Yaga. I don't know that Baba Yaga could do the CZ thing. Do a room pop, brother. There you go. That's how I pop. Have I shot a jackal? I don't think I've shot a jackal. Compliant, yeah. Dude, I have a Norinco. I love my Norinco. I have a Type 56, and it is, dude, it runs solid. It's smooth. It's accurate. I love it. Probably my most accurate rifle, Bando. I'm assuming when you say best rifle, you're asking most accurate. It's probably my 6.5 Creedmoor, my AR-10. I agree, Lorenzo. No, Brad, no. I have gone hunting. I have not successfully hunted game. I've successfully hunted fowl. But I used to live in Alaska, and I have not been successful at hunting game in Idaho or Utah since I have moved away. Benny, I might be. So, I do like 5.7. Yes, Michael, I do like 5.7. Ooh, 1911 versus Browning high power. That's a tough one, because you've got the classic 1911, but in some ways I feel like the high power improved on some of the issues that the 1911 had. That's why Browning built it. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one, Jack. That's a good question. Compliant, yeah, got one of those too. Got a 9mm AR right here. You have to, yeah, in Utah you have to do you have to put in for a lottery to hunt pretty much every type of game except waterfowl. Exactly, Rock Lobster. Do you have a broom handle on that AR? No, this one, it's a foregrip with a bipod in it. It's from one of my deployments. I just kept it and put it on my AR when I got home. With the big scope, Brad Keck, just over 1100. It's like 1117 on the 6.5 Creedmoor. But I kind of feel like it doesn't count because 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm not like a huge 6.5 Creedmoor fanboy, but if you want to get into really long range shooting, 6.5 Creedmoor is probably the least expensive, most accurate out the box rifle that you can find. I mean, I built that one, but it's like stupid easy. It's like a cheat code. You don't really have to be good. Like, you can pretty easily, like in one day, you spend one day practicing and learning how to do things, you could probably hit a target at 1,000 yards in one day with a couple boxes of 6.5 Creedmoor. Somebody asked about PSA 15s. I think PSA makes great entry-level products. If you are just getting into the gun world, if you're just getting into how to, or like ARs or Glocks or anything like that, PSA's proprietary products, they're great. And most of us aren't going to be part of any real-world Gravy SEAL team, so you don't need something that is, you're like $1,500. Shed Al. Listening to Ace of Base. So naturally, I went live and you were like, oh yeah, Utah's online. Listening to Ace of Base. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go listen to it. Thanks, bud. Shed Al is good people. Go check out Shed Al's channel, everybody. Shed Al is great. Sorry, I'm waiting for my chat to clean back up. All right, Shed Al donated $5, $4.99. Thank you. That's going towards the 1911. There we go. When you donate to the channel, so if you decide you want to help the channel out, besides liking or subscribing today, Donating is the next best way. That is how we pay for all the firearms and all the ammo for the channel. Whatever revenue I get for the channel doesn't go towards anything else except guns and ammo. And that's it. That's all I do with it. So if you want to be a part of the channel, if you want to help contribute to the channel Armory, you can do that, because that's what I believe in. I believe in, like, if I'm going to buy a gun, I want to have say in it. If you help me buy the gun, you get to help have a say in it. So, thank you, Form. Marvel, they are. All of my guns are legal. Even if they were automatic, they would be legal. Go with the 308. Compliant. Go with the 308. Just because, like, I love my 6.5 Creedmoor, but I don't shoot it very often because the ammo is more. It's about twice as much as 308. So if you want to be able to shoot it more often, go with 308. If you want to get into some cool, fun, long-range shooting, go with the 6.5 Creedmoor. Walther versus Glock. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so I like the universality, because that's a real word, of Glock. Because it's just, there's so much support for Glock. Not that Walther doesn't have support for accessories and things like that. But I think you can do a lot with Glock. There's a lot of aftermarket support, and you can get a Glock dialed in really well. Now, I think FRT triggers are cool for the range. But there's something about owning a Walther, like, kind of like the CZ thing, kind of like the Colt thing. Like, there's something about everybody that has a collection. I feel like you should have a Walther. Doesn't matter what kind, but it's like, it's just that the classic, this is the gun James Bond would use. Walther makes good shit. So everybody, if you love weed, tobacco, and hate the government, go check out Noah Brown 420. Noah, that was awesome. I love it. I love it. Welcome. I'm glad that you came in. I will gladly give you a shout out without you even asking. If you love weed, tobacco, and hate the government, go to YouTube/@Noah Brown 420. Everybody go subscribe to Noah Brown 420. It took balls to come in here and do that. That was awesome. Radio! I don't have a switch for any of my Glocks because I think technically they're still illegal, because they're all, I think the Glock switches were developed after 1987 or 1986, so you can't legally own one. But I would love to have like a legal Glock 18. I think you can get a Glock 18. I am not a skinny version of Richard Simmons. I am definitely fat. Sergio, I have one right over here. Right here. Revolvers versus automatic. I think, Jack, I think both have a place. So, semi-autos, you know, regular semi-autos or automatic handguns. There's versatility in having capacity. But also revolvers, or if you take care of a revolver properly, it should always go click. Raymond, I do not. Hey, Tactical. What's going on, buddy? Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that. Listening while driving. Dangerous freedoms. I love it. What's your thoughts on the Lima 6 belt fed? Oh, dude, I think belt fed uppers, I think that's pretty cool, the way that they've designed them and they've made them so that you can essentially, if you've got a belt fed, you've got an infinite ammo cheat. If you've got like an FRT, you can get a pretty good, or like a super safety, you can get a pretty good experience that is not exactly the same as like a 240, but it's still pretty fun. It can make for a very fun day at the range. We've got some great dudes. Focus is in here, radio's in here. Hey, everybody that's here, one, just a reminder, please remember to double tap that like button. I have no idea where we are because my screen isn't refreshing. But also, go check out any of these guys that have blue wrenches next to their name. It's very likely that they have a channel too, and they have fun stuff. If you like what I do, you're gonna like what they do. They have some great things, some great products, some great merch, things like that. Go check them out. Great dudes. Love them all. I need a YN below average dad outfit. I wouldn't even know what that looks like. I know what a YN is, but did I just get off work at the old car lot? Probably. It wouldn't shock me if I just did that. I should check where I'm at. Man. Getting back up. There we go. 72 likes. That's awesome. We're at 72 likes. Love it. If you get 70, that's funny. Don't worry about it. Aim high. Hooah! Love it, Phil. Would you say 1911s are just as customizable as Glocks? Never comfortable. I think some of them are. Not all of them are. It depends on what type of 1911, because there's a lot of support for like a Colt 1911. You can find lots of different parts for a Colt 1911, but not all of them can be customized in the same way. You might be able to get a different slide, and in that regard you can maybe customize them, but not all of them have the same type of rail system on the lower, and so depending on the lower receiver that you go with, that can change things. You can sometimes convert certain versions of a 1911, certain brands, to like a double stack, like a 2011. So it's cool. Like I think that they're cool and I think they're fun. I don't have one. I'm trying to buy one, but yeah, it just depends on the brand and what kind of support that brand has. If I got a hunting rifle, what rifle would you recommend? Slammers, 30-06. Go get a 30-06 or a 308. 308's a little bit less, and it has similar ballistics to 30-06 out to about 400 yards. Then it starts to kind of change. Does a 30-06 do more damage than that? Question the narrative, folks. I'm assuming you're talking about Charlie Kirk. Like a ping, sir. Okay. Here we go. Antonio Valdez wants a ping. I'm assuming that means he wants. I'm pretty sure I know what he wants. This is what we do. There we go. You get dry fire desk pops from the Nerf gun. What do you like most about owning so many weapons? Thunderstrucks, that's a good question. So I am a believer in understanding firearms. Not all firearms work the same. Even ARs differ. Like different ARs function and recoil and feel and shoot different than one another, depending on the manufacturer and things like that. So I am a firm believer in understanding how firearms work, because when you take away the fear and the taboo of what a firearm is, then you become safer because of it. Just like one truck drives different than another truck, this car drives different than that car. Firearms are the same way. A 9mm fires different than a 40 cal. A 40 cal fires different than a 10mm. A 44 fires different than a 45. Long Colt or Colt fires different than 357 Magnum. 6.5, 308, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, semi-auto, pump, AK-47. They all fire a little bit differently. They all function differently. And learning how to manage and understand how they work, I think that that's an important part of being a custodian of the Second Amendment, And that way you can help people that, like, maybe they want to get into guns, but they don't know what gun they want. They just know what's popular on TV or video games. If you have that knowledge because you own them or you're familiar with them and you've shot them a lot, then you can help them understand what it is that they're getting into, the cost of doing it, the maintenance of doing it, and just the upkeep of doing things like that. So it's about knowledge. It's not just, look at me, I have lots of guns because I'm American and I can and I'm just want to look tough. It's a lot less about that, a lot more about like passing it down, having the knowledge, and being prepared for being able to answer questions. Or if I need to know how to use one, I'm in the military, there might come a time where I need to pick up an AK-47. If that happens, like I'm in a very shitty situation, but knowing how one works and not loading it with the wrong ammo, that can be a big difference. Exactly, Ethan. Spitfire. I like the 43X. Or the 43X clone. Frank, I don't have a rocket launcher. I do have a flare launcher, a 37mm flare launcher. Christian, I have not shot 45 gap. Yeah, Greg. So this one is a plasma bolt caster from 40K. This one shoots the Magnum rounds from Halo, so they're pretty cool. Really hard to find those. Gotta source those from Australia, actually, of all places, given all the gun control. But they carry both rounds, which is really interesting. Spitfire. I think Shadow Systems. I've shot a couple of Shadow Systems. It's a more Gucci'd Glock. That's what it is. They're not bad. They're good. If you don't want to worry about customizing, making any modifications or anything like that, I think that you can spend the money on a Shadow Systems and then out the door just have a solid, reliable piece. Tactical, what's going on, Llama? Somebody just put out a statistic about 10,000 times more likely to be used on me or someone in my family than on self-defense, and that is a made-up statistic. I don't own any Turkish shotgun clones. I want to get one. I want to get the Panzer Arms, the M4. Dude, Llama, what happened? How did that happen? You have to chat with me offline if you don't want to talk about it in here. You have to let me know what's going on. I don't have an HKMP5. I think they're really cool. I've shot one. I would love to have like an AP5 or an SP5, one of their clones. That would be great. Nice shout out. Thank you. Recommendation for in-waistband holster. Texas Pete. I have CYA. Now this is specific to the dagger. So daggers fit just a little bit different than Glocks. The shape of the trigger guard is different for the compact and for the full-size S. I went with CYA because they had a pretty good in-waistband holster that was simple. I mean, you can see here, nothing fancy about it. For the full-size and for the compact. For my micro dagger, which is a clone of the Glock 43X, I went with Mission First Tactical. They have one called the Minimalist. About the same cost as this, but it's very small, low profile, comfortable. So that's what I went with. None of my holsters for IWB have the because I'm a thicker dude. None of mine have spots for extra mags. I just carry mags in my pocket. If you want to carry extra mags, I've heard good things about Fat Tac. Infinite money, infinite wisdom. I think everyone should own a 3D printer and should 3D print as many guns as possible. It's never been illegal to manufacture your own firearms. Thank you, Bo. Hey, what's going on, bud? I know, David. I ordered one, and then the company, I ordered one on Amazon, and I think the supplier like disappeared because they refunded me my money and I never got it, and I just never got around to ordering a new one. Instead, I just bought more guns. No problem, Texas. Biker, yes. Biker boys, yes. Dangerous Freedoms, yeah. So 43X and micro daggers, they're actually really similar in size, and so I've not seen a or a 43X holster that didn't work for the 43X. It's just the regular, it's just the full-size dagger and the compact dagger, so the 19 clone and the 19X clone that are a little different. Floriano! Buy a BGM Tomahawk. That would be fun. What is your main carry? Tommy, I carry primarily the 43X clone, the Dagger Micro. Floriano, yes, I like Berettas. I've shot Berettas a lot. I'm in the Air Force, and so I until they went to the P320, that's what I qualified with in ops. 100% state I live in doesn't have laws on 3D prints yet, but they are working on one now. I hope that doesn't happen. When the problem with that is that they're not going to be able to make a law against 3D printing guns. What they'll do is they'll just make it illegal to own 3D printers. That's what they've done in like Colorado and Illinois. There's laws about making sure that if you own a 3D printer, it has to be registered, and there's all kinds of stuff with it. Luke Boyer, dude, M&P 2.0 is a solid gun, dude. Isaac, I don't have one in 308. I do have one in 6.5 Creedmoor. I built mine. Mine's an Aero Precision build. I really like it, but if you, so it kind of depends on how much money you want to spend. If you want to spend a little more and not worry about putting it together yourself, again, Aero Precision, Stag makes a good 308 AR-10. Actually, Bear Creek's AR-10 isn't bad. I've shot one. May Spitfire, I believe that they do. I think there's enough. I think there's enough tolerance there that they will fit. Biker Boy, I don't have a Glock 19. I have a Glock 19 clone. This black one down on the floor here, right next to the revolver on the left in the picture. So, New Jersey is right next door, and they haven't banned 3D printers yet. But if you are caught with a build without a serial number, it's a felony. Pretty insane if you ask me. Yeah, that's what I mean is, serial numbers shouldn't matter unless you're going to sell. If you're not selling, you should be able to make and build as many guns as your heart desires. Do you think the Stoker 20 gauge would be a good hunting gun? I think that if that's what you are interested in and that's what you want and can afford, then go for it. That's what I tell everybody. If there's a gun that you're interested in, if you can afford it and you can become proficient with it, whether it's for hunting, self-defense, just going to the range, it's like a range day thing to become, familiar with guns, go for it. There's not a gun on the planet outside of the SIG P320 series that I would not recommend to somebody. Thank you, Jake. I'm glad that you see the humor in it. Yeah, Biker Boys, I think I answered your question. Captain Save-A-Ho, love it. What's up, fam? Nice. Fishing with James, which one you looking at? Oh, yeah. Smoke, I didn't realize you were still here in the chat. Fishing with James. Smoke is my shotgun guy. He knows way more about shotguns than I do. The next set of super chats after the next. So I've talked about doing, we talked about doing a new PCC. I was actually thinking it might make sense to do a gun wall or do a round of optics. Like for the pistols or for the ARs, get new optics. Glock 22 EDC. Now I have PSA daggers, Troydell, but if you want to carry Glock 22, dude, my hat is off to you. That's not a small piece. Christopher says Cox Firearms USA has a nice build. I assume that's referring to the AR-10 conversation from earlier. Another question for you. After the death of Charlie Kirk, I saw many people suggesting a ban. No, I don't think we should ban from trans people. Now, if you're asking me, would I ever give a trans person a firearm? No, I would not. Because I think transgenderism is a very severe mental illness. If you don't know the difference between a penis and a vagina, or if you believe that you shouldn't have a penis when you have one, like that's a very like serious issue that you need to figure out. But I do not think they should be restricted from owning firearms, because as soon as you delegate that a certain group of individuals is restricted from owning firearms, that is the gateway to, well, now we can pick whoever we want from being able to own firearms. Do I have a jock strap? Oh boy, do I have a jock strap. Does God know all things? Yes. America first or Israel first? I think those two, like I'm going to say America first, and I'm going to say Israel second. Just went to shoot my guns for the first time, loving the AK-47. I also shot Glock 40 and Dagger 9mm. Definitely need to go back next week. KY, love it, dude. Love hearing that. Welcome to the club. Logical gymnastics going on there. I don't know what that means. They ban other drug users. Okay. I'm still confused as to what's going on. All the super chats I get on my channel will go to a gun wall for a Utah attack. Green Hood, you do not have to do that. But if you can't tell and you're also intoxicated, I must have missed a conversation. There's like things about drugs and intoxication. This dude is cooked. I don't know why I'm cooked. What's with all the weapons? They're fun. And I can. And they're here. Team Clone, does the Dagger run better than a Glock? I don't think it runs better. I don't think it runs worse. I think it runs about the same. I did it because I was able to get 3 guns for the price of like 1.5. Michael, the guns are nice, but what's your favorite gun behind you in general? My AK. My AK is my favorite gun behind me. It's a Chinese AK. They're not easy to find nowadays, especially not in as good a condition that this one is in. And like AK imports, especially Chinese AK imports, they're really, right now you can't get them at all. And they just have a really cool history behind them. So that's why I really like my AK. Undercover, what's going on, buddy? 6-inch, 686. Oh, dude, love it, Ape. That's awesome. Yeah, yes, if I didn't see the question, it makes sense that I wouldn't understand Parkio. So here's the thing with marijuana users. I know plenty of people that own guns that may or may not also consume marijuana. I would say that it's about the same as alcohol. The difference is that alcohol is not federally banned. So if you want to consume marijuana, that's up to you. If you own guns, that's up to you. But you also, when you fill out a 4473, you have to answer a question on there about, do you use any controlled substances? There you go. Devin Rivers, what's a small gun that you would carry for self-defense? My 43X is pretty small, my Dagger Micro clone. or the 43X clone, the Dagger Micro, is pretty small. If you want to go smaller than that, what is, somebody help me, what's the Glock that's like a subcompact that's 45? The only reason I would recommend something that's like, if you're going to go smaller than like the size of a P365 or a Dagger Micro, or 43X or 42, like you might as well go with a bigger caliber, and that's why. Because if you're going to reduce the number of rounds that you can carry, if you're going to be at 10 or lower, you might as well go to something that has more knockdown. It's going to be a pain in the ass to shoot, but go with something that's got more oomph behind it. What am I missing with this Parika guy? Wake up and smell the coffee. Hypocrite. Why am I a hypocrite? Do I love Donald Duck? Donald Duck? Donald Duck is a badass. Donald Duck was in World War II. Donald Duck's seen some shit. Donald Duck's amazing. That's what I thought. I thought it was the Glock 27 as well. My key fell off. I'm fidgeting with my keys in my pocket and it came apart. What do you think is safer with a gun? A woman abusing testosterone or a man suppressing testosterone and abusing estrogen? Well, if they're abusing either one, probably a gun isn't safe in either one of their hands. I'm a sick puppy, bro. Okay. Noted. Why? That's the thing, dude. When I'm on X, I'm pretty loud and vocal on X. Like, I will call shit out that I see. So, like, if you think something about me, one, why? And two, why? You don't know anything about me. One day did they change the question of the forum, reschedule weed to make it more so like I go. Infinite. I actually think that would be a good idea. I personally think all drugs should be legalized and had the shit taxed out of them, just like alcohol and tobacco. And then I think we should just let nature take its course. Donald Duck was a badass. Donald Duck, dude, go read some of the like lore around Donald Duck and some of the things he experienced, because he was in like videos and training videos for World War II for like special forces and SAS and like the Korean War. Disney like let them, like Donald Duck is the token veteran for Disney, and he's enlisted. Like, Donald Duck has no shit been through it. There's a reason that dude is angry all the time. Where are your good guns? How are you defining good guns? How are you defining good guns? That's a Chinese AK. That's a Norinco. This is a Colt Anaconda. This is a Henry Repeating Arms 4570 lever gun. That's a Mossberg 940. This is a Winchester 120. These are Glock clones. Maybe the Glock clones are cheap? Oh, yeah, I would love to get a Galil. Dude, I would love to get a Galil. Thank you, Rob. Undercover, I have one right here. I have a 9mm. Technically, these three shoot BBs. James, no. Don't forget the note, those are straight. Yeah, I mean, Plasma Caster from 40K, Magnum from Halo. Yeah. Don't forget the nerf. Yeah. Do you wear those guns to get coffee? I wear this one to go get coffee. William, yes, I have an anaconda. I have a 6-inch anaconda right here. That's what she said. If she says that, run away. Jack, my AK is my favorite. My Norinco, my Chinese AK is my favorite. Thank you, Ace. I don't own a Thompson. Broke Boys, thank you. Do I hope? Why would I ever hope someone breaks into my house? One, that would scare the shit out of my whole family. It would be very frustrating. And two, like, I don't want to ever have to shoot somebody. I will. Yes, Nate. Brandon Herrera for Congress. Texas District. I think it's District 2. Can't remember. Brandon Herrera for Congress. Nobody that owns guns actually wants to shoot someone. You realize that, right? Like if you actually believe that gun owners want to shoot people, you might want to go talk to a psychiatrist. Like, that is a really fucked up thing to think. That a human wants to actually take another human's life. That's her horrific thought. Now, I'm willing to if I have to. All right? I'm in the military. I've been trained. I know how. I've been involved in things. And I've seen enough people lose their lives and seen enough horror that if I have to, I will. But it doesn't mean that that's like my wake up and get going in the morning. Like, I sure hope I get to see somebody and they do something stupid and I shoot them. Nobody thinks that. And the fact that you believe that, or might think that, about firearm owners is pretty messed up. You're pretty far away from reality. If somebody rushes me, I'm going to shoot them. Do you play games? And if so, what is your favorite gun for a game? I don't understand. Do I play games? It's like 1:30. You should go to sleep. I don't know. Useless facts about cheese is also really interesting. Cheese is pretty amazing. Yeah, paper and dirt is cool. Or like explosives. Frosty, I did see how some people reacted to Charlie Kirk. That's how I know that there are some very sick and twisted people in the world. Sorry. What was that? If you think some people don't want that, then I don't know what to tell you. There are some people that want that. There are. None of them are lawful gun owners, and none of them are good people. Before I leave the house, well said. I'm worried now. Cool, Will. Why are you worried? Would you use non-lethal rounds for home defense? No, Devin, I would not. If you enter my safe space, if you enter my castle, if you enter my restricted zone, and you are here for anything other than my invite and friendship, you have lost all privileges. Thank you, William. West with 2 guys with knives, but I didn't have to shoot them. They just saw it and ran. So yeah, that was a great example. I've done this. I've done that plenty of times. I can recall like at least 4 times that I've done it. There was a dude, my wife and I were out to dinner, and it was in Ogden. It was at a place called, what's the pizza place called? Slackwater. My brain just went numb. And there was a dude who was very clearly like messed up. I went around the back to go open the door for my wife, and my wife had already opened the door. She was getting out, and this dude started beelining for her, and he didn't see me because I was behind another vehicle. And I walked up, and he came around the corner, started walking to my wife, and I immediately drew, and I went, no. And he spun around and kept going. So, Veritas. So I think that's an interesting question. Which gun for home defense? I think handguns are great for home defense. I think shotguns are great for home defense. I think ARs are great for home defense. I think the most important thing for a home defense firearm is which one are you most proficient with. A shotgun is not a magic wand that you can just point into the air or rack and scare someone away. In fact, they've, like, where people have said, you know, they've proven that if you just rack a shotgun or rack a gun, it's going to scare people away. It doesn't work. If somebody's in your home because they want to get to you, whether they hear a gun or not, they're in your home. They already don't have a problem with potentially assaulting you. They have accepted the fact that they might run into you and are willing to harm you in order to get what they want in your home. So the rack thing doesn't work. If you're using slugs in a shotgun, you better make sure that you hit your target, because if you don't, you're going to have over penetration. So you need to be aware of what's behind you. If you're going to use buckshot, if you use like double-aught, same thing as that you're going to run into. The velocity of double-aught buck is similar to the velocity used in a slug. Like, it's a little bit less, but it's close. So you still have to be proficient in what you're shooting at. I personally would stick with like wax slugs. You can make those. You can Google it and see how to make them. Or like number 4 or number 6 buckshot. I don't know that I would go much bigger than that if you were going to use a shotgun. Again, you have to be proficient. If you're going to do an AR, I would not do 5.56 rounds. I would do 2.23 rounds. I would do 77 grain, and I would probably do subsonics, just because they're moving fast enough to do what you need them to do, but they're not moving so fast that you're likely to get over penetration with your target, through your target, and potentially with sheetrock and wood. If you're going to go with 9mm and you're in your home, again, I would go for a high velocity, lightweight round. Something that's maybe frangible, something that is less likely to over penetrate through sheetrock and is likely to tumble when it hits harder objects or denser objects. So that's my personal take. Ooh, undercover. So I am a huge fan of burgers, but I also like steak and sushi. I'm fat, dude. I like all food. I've eaten just about everything that you can think of. Wheel Smoke suggesting 300. I'm guessing it's 300 Ultra Mag for home defense. So 45 hollow point. That's definitely, that would work. But again, you need to be cautious about over penetration, and you need to be proficient with what you're doing. Will McKay, that it depends on the type of vest. I mean, okay, vest, no. Plates, vest with plates, depending on the plates, yes. Grant, if you're here in Utah and I can go with you, then yes, I will let you shoot my guns. Word of Elijah, I love it. Dude, tomorrow's $6 sushi at the Kroger or Smith's or Fred Meyer, you know, that whole brand. That's what we do. Matt Monty, I think 22 Magnum is similar to 5.7. It doesn't have the same ballistics, but it's got similar ballistics. I don't think it dumps energy the same way, because the round is shaped differently, so it doesn't react the same way in certain types of materials. That's the way I'm going to word that question. But I think if you want to go that route, then you should definitely do it. Kingdom of Vinland. I think both of those shoot AR. I think they both shoot 2.23 or 5.56. I think 2.23 and 5.56 are great home defense rounds. Grant, yeah, sorry, Grant. I don't have the Uzi version. I have this is the plasma caster from 40K, and the Magnum from Halo. So Dragon armor was supposed to be really cool, but they found that it didn't work as well. Like the concept of, I think if they combined Dragon armor, the flexibility of Dragon armor, if they were to weave that into like a vest, there could be some benefit to that. The problem was that it was thinner ceramics, so you didn't get as many direct hits. You weren't protected from as many direct hits. And the likelihood of somebody hitting you in this profile as opposed to this profile also isn't as good. It's a smaller target, you're moving, so they have to lead the proper amount depending on your range. So that's why they decided to just stick with plates instead of going that. Plus the way that the Dragon armor, I think the adhesive and everything, they found that after the friction of getting a couple rounds started to affect the adhesive, and then it would start to allow the plates to shift, the little discs. Jacob, my favorite gun that I own is an AK-47. It's this one right here. It's a Chinese AK. Matt. Oh, awesome. Shipping container homes are cool. Thanks. You don't live in America. You're welcome, Medved. The demo had it shot with what looked like hundreds of rounds. Yeah, so like Demo Ranch, before he went off, he actually got a legit set of Dragon armor, Dragon scales, and he tested it, and I think he showed that it only took like 2 rounds of 5.56. If you shot around the same spot, it would go through after 2 rounds. Whereas right now, ceramic plates, I think they're rated for 10 rounds of 5.56. I think they're rated for 7 rounds of 7.62 under 300 meters away. So, thank you, Atakan. Hello from Turkey. Turkey. I think that's Turkey. Did I say that right? Turkey. Salam. Salam. Turkey. Yeah, I was in Qatar last year and I met some Turkish dudes, so they taught me how to say the name correctly. And you guys have sick coffee, by the way. Yeah, Dragon scale was also really heavy because you had, instead of having ceramic plates in the front and the back protecting the vital organs in the largest target space, you took that, you thinned it out, and you spread it across the whole thing. And so you distributed more of that weight, so it was a little bit more even, but you actually had more weight because of everything. It just didn't, yeah. Kingdom, yes, it is a Type 56. Do you buy full rifles or build them? I bought this lever full, but all of my ARs I built. The AK I bought in worse condition, and I fixed it up as much as I could, and then I sent it to a buddy of mine who is also a subscriber. He owns X-Tech Firearms up in Ogden. They sent it to their armorer. Goku, I do want to get a couple of the Benelli clones, the Turk Nelly clones. I would love to get a couple of those. Eric, if your Gen 4 pins are walking out, there might be, did you buy it new? And how long have you had it? If it's new, then you might want to send it in because there might be a defect when they manufactured it. There may be a problem with how big the diameter of the drill holes are. If it's not new, if it's used, you might need to take it in to an armor. You may want to go with something with a little bit bigger diameter. I know that there's aftermarket pins that you can get that just have a little bit of flaring to them, and so they fit a little bit more snug. You might want to look into that. So I actually am not a huge fan of guns that look like toys. I actually don't like that for legal purposes. There's a lot of things and a lot of cases where people have had like the guns that look like the Nintendo Blaster or the guns that look like Nerf guns. If you have that and you use it in a defense scenario, you're probably going to lose that case. There have been enough instances and legal things where they've said, well, you had it built like a toy, you obviously think guns are toys, and therefore you were looking for a reason to use it. That's not the way that I would do it. It's one thing to change out the trigger. It's another thing. Again, it's another thing to put optics or a gas pedal on so that you have more control over the firearm, so that you're more accurate with the firearm, because you can use that in a reasonable defense. Say, I want to make sure that I'm proficient, and that if I ever need to use it, I'm using it in the safest way possible. I don't want to potentially harm bystanders. That's why I have these things that functionally allow it to be better controlled. When it's cosmetic stuff, then what you want is you kind of want stuff that doesn't look cool, that doesn't make it look fun, that doesn't make it look dangerous, but that rather makes it look kind of silly, or even effeminate. So like, if you have a carry gun and it's bright pink as a dude, solid choice. The bright pink, bright blue guns, the cow painted gun from Glock, great options, because in a defense scenario, you'd be like, look, my gun looks like a cow because my wife likes cows, and I went with a cow painted gun because it made her a little bit more comfortable about having the gun in the home. It's not something I like to show off. It's not something that I think, oh man, I'm so manly and tough because I have a cow patterned gun. It's a defensive tool. It's not something I want to flash around and show off. I would love to get an AA-12 Veritas. How much ammo does your Nerf gun hold? Well, if I'm wearing my bandana, I have infinite ammo. Uh, 4 months shot a couple thousand rounds through it. Yeah, Eric, I would do some searching and see if any of the aftermarket, like Glock clones, if they have slightly bigger diameter pins. You might just need to replace the pin. The pins could just be worn as well if they're walking out. So you may just need to get a new pin set and try a different pin set. So AA-12. So if I had like a shotgun wish list, it would be like AA-12, Spaz-12, then a Benelli. But not a, yeah. Technically, Veritas, any AA-12 that was built before 1986, if it was, I can't remember, you could legally own an AA-12 here in the States. If you also have, if you're an FFL holder, and there's some other types of permits that you can get being a federal firearms licensed dealer, that would allow you to own an AA-12. Ben, I have one. I've got a 4570 right here. Okay, great question, Charlie. This is a Winchester Model 120. This is an SKB M7300. If you're not familiar, SKB is a Japanese brand, because the Japanese actually make some pretty cool guns. So, Japanese shotgun, SKB, and then this is a Mossberg 930. An M110. This is an AR-15. It is a hybrid build. It's an ATI, an Anderson lower, and an Aero Precision upper. Yeah, that's what I mean, Veritas. That's why I can't remember when the AA-12 came out. I don't know if it's pre-86 or not. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of, like the P90. I think the P90 was built in 85. It was in the 80s that the P90 was built. The 5.7 round was developed in the 80s. You know, the first Glock was developed in the early 80s. There's a bunch of guns that people don't realize were developed in the 80s. What kicks more, the 4570 or the 12 gauge? I think they kick different, J-Dog. How are you, buddy? Love you, bud. Everybody go check out J-Dog's channel. Yeah, I thought there were a couple of automatic shotguns that did exist prior to 86. Sixten, I've shot an elephant gun. I've shot a 475 H&H Magnum. Charlie, yeah, no problem. Yeah, the 1200 has the shorter barrel. The 1200 is like the Ranger, and that's the one that was like the cop gun. Yeah, Matt, got it. AA-12 is 1970, cool. 1972. Best way to get paid, pooping. Can you pick up the rifle and say, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun? I can do it. I can do it with this one. This is my rifle, this is my gun. Even though it's not a rifle, but this one's for fun. Coolest gun that I own? Ooh, bro's got a good question. Coolest gun that I own. I think the chat would say it's a toss-up between the lever gun and probably the Anaconda. Do you have an AR-15, or are those not? Because if you do have them as a kid. I have an AR-15, I have an AR-9, and I have an AR-10. I have all three. Sixten, this is a Colt Anaconda. It's a 44 Magnum. I knew what J-Dog was going to say. My favorite shotgun of all time? Oh, I don't know that I have a favorite shotgun of all time. I know Arms Room 24, he's got a trench broom, and that's a pretty sick gun. Just the history behind the trench broom. Whatever, I can't even remember what it is. It's a 12 gauge. That is a semi-automatic 12 gauge. I think he's got the semi-automatic 12 gauge from World War II. I'm going to say 1911 because it's practical. Dominic. Veritas. I don't have any tracer rounds. Favorite shotgun. Julio. I have a Winchester Model 120. An SKB 7300 and a Mossberg 930. But hey guys, we've been going for 80 minutes. We're at about 120 likes. It's been a great stream. I'm actually gonna go. My wife just got home, so we're gonna call it a night. I don't have any Dragon's Breath rounds, but if you've had a good time, please go check out any of my mods. Go check out the dudes with blue wrenches on them. They're great dudes. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos. If you want to help the channel grow, subscribing, sharing. If you want to donate to the channel, buy a membership. I have memberships that are 99 cents. We're doing a giveaway, and anyone who has a membership before the giveaway, whatever you spend on the membership, you get that many more, whatever the dollar amount is, that's how many entries you get into the giveaway for the pistol. If you buy someone else a membership, so if you gift memberships, I will double whatever the value is of those memberships. So if you buy two $25 memberships to somebody and you spend $50, I'm going to give you 100 entries into the pistol. Because I believe in paying it forward. You guys have helped this channel grow, and I want to give you the most opportunity. So if you're interested in having if you're interested in potentially winning a customized Glock clone, a PSA dagger with a custom slide from Stifler Manufacturing, and of course Baba Yaga orange, with a flip-up red dot sight, and a short pull, short reset trigger like what I have in mine, please buy a membership. And like I said, we're going to try to do that giveaway either at the end of October or the beginning of November, so that we can coordinate with FFLs and make sure that we do everything legally so that you can have that firearm by Christmas. love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please check out the other videos. Check out some of my mods. And the next time we go live, share with your friends. Do all of that. If you want to donate monetarily to the channel, you want to contribute to the 1911, I am on Cash App, and it's Below Average Utah Dad. If you want to email me, it's belowaverageutahdad@gmail.com. I try to keep things simple. You can also find me on X. You can search Below Average Utah Dad on X, or you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. So please, if you're new, check out some of my social media. If you want to see the less politically correct version of Below Average Utah Dad, definitely check me out on X. I'm a lot more boisterous, a lot louder, a lot more uncouth. Irreverent is a good way to put it. A lot more F-bombs. Ibrahim, I served in the Middle East, and I was deployed as a main operating base. I was deployed in Qatar as a main operating base. And that's all that I'm allowed to say in terms of what I did. Oh, yes, smoke. I'll make sure. Everybody also go check out, like I said, Green Hood Smoke. Remember, everyone, be safe out there. Family, like if you're a faith-driven person, God or whatever faith that you ascribe to, put that first in your life. Family next, country. I've always kind of adopted that motto that Charlie Kirk has. He says, God, family, country. Whatever it is that you believe in, that needs to be first in your life, because that can't be taken away from you. Everything you can to provide for your family. It's Below Average Utah Dad, not Below Average Utah Gun Guy. You guys know that I'm a huge advocate for my family, and I love my family, and I always put them first. And then do everything you can to protect your country and the things that you truly believe in. Keep freedom safe wherever you are. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry to kick you all out. You missed it, Ammo. I'm just getting ready to die. Or just getting ready to kill the stream. So have a great night, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you guys all tomorrow. You guys have a great time. Check out the content on the channel. Have a laugh. Don't take things too seriously. Always carry every day. Always carry with a round in the chamber. Stay zesty, my friends. Baba Yaga watches out for you in the night over your little beds, and he keeps you safe and gives you little cuddles when you least expect it. Oh, look at those guns. Do 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 do.